Hello and welcome to the El Chappy Sports Show. I'm your host, Dylan. Please do me a massive favour before we get into this mock draft. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell on the way in. Let's just jump straight into it. Nice, quick mock draft. So we're back for mock draft 2.0. Let's go. Let's get straight into it. Let's not play about. First one, obviously, Raiders are on the clock. Nothing changes here. We all know what's happening here. It is going to be Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. Nothing to discuss. So let's move on. We've now got a decision to make here. Do we go for the upside player or do we go for the ready-made player here? Last time I did the mock draft, I drafted Arthur Reese here. This time I'm going to mix it up a little bit and go David Bailey. A lot of people believe he is the more ready edge rusher, and the Jets need a ready-made edge rusher right now. Do I select him personally myself? Probably not. I still think we need to wait to see when it comes to pro days and stuff like that and a little bit more analysis. However, for now, let's get David Bailey in there from Texas Tech. Let's go. Pick number 3, interesting here. Some people have already got him, Jeremiah Love, going to the Cardinals. Personally, I don't think quite yet. I think they still need to bolster that whole lineup. That's why I have to go for a tackle here. I know that some people go, it's a bit of a stretch, but however, I believe you have to go with a tackle. And for me, tackle number 1 here is Francis Mayorga. I'm sorry if I say that wrong, but Francis from Miami is for me the number 1 tackle in this draft. He will slot nicely on into that O-line, him and Paris Johnson as the bookends, and I think that is the right move for the Cardinals. This one, last time I did have Sonny Styles going to the Titans, but that was before free agency. Since free agency, they've put so much work into the defense. I think now they need to concentrate on the offense, which is why I think Jeremiah Love is the right pick here. Jeremiah Love is a great running back, but he's also a great receiver as well. I've been watching his tape and his running routes, the way he catches the ball, he's going to be a great asset, I believe, for Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. So with this pick, I'm going with Jeremiah Love. Pick number 5, the New York Giants. We know that John Harbaugh, he loves safeties. He likes to have a captain, a commander in the back end of that defense. And because of that, I think if he is fully fit, I believe Caleb Downs is the move right here. I also think Sonny Styles would be in with a shout here, but I think knowing what we know about Harbaugh and the way he likes to play, I think it makes sense that we have Downs in the back end being able to command from the back. So here we go, Caleb Downs, safety from Ohio State, going to the New York Giants. Then Cleveland Browns here. I mean, they've got so much needs here. They've got so many needs. I believe they do need more wide receiver help. Also, I believe they need more O-line help. I've got to go with a wide receiver here. I think we are overdrafting slightly here with Carnell Tate, but I do think he is wide receiver 1, and I do believe I'm going with best player available over going for another tackle right now. So I'm going to go with Carnell Tate here and hope that one of the tackles falls later in the first round or certainly in the second round. So then we got the Washington Commanders. For me, I think you have to go with Arthur Reese here. He is a massive standout here. He'll bring a lot on the edge for the Washington Commanders. It's a need they have, but also Arthur Reese falling to 7 is not something I thought would happen. I've come into this without thinking because I wanted to be natural, and actually I didn't see Arthur Reese falling to Washington because of that. They should be running to the podium to get that card in. So Arthur Reese to the Washington Commanders. We then got the New Orleans Saints here. They do need wide receiver help. But also, if you look at it, they could do with a cornerback right here. They could do with an edge. They could do with Sonny Styles here. Oh, safety. No, oh, I actually don't know where I'm going to go with this one. Um, I actually might just go Sonny Styles here. I think having Sonny Styles, he is obviously jumped up the boards um, in most drafts since the pro day. I think I have to go with Sonny Styles. I'm sorry, I'm thinking and as I'm looking here and I can't multitask, but I think we have to go Sonny Styles here. They do have some defensive needs. It's not a priority pick, but I don't really see how we can. I would have gone Carnell Tate here if he was still here. So if the Browns take a tackle, I would take Carnell Tate here. However, he's off the board, so I have to go Sonny Styles, I think, in this one. Some people might say Ruben Bain Jr., but no, for me, it's Sonny Styles at this pick. So there you go. Then we go Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, some people thought that Love wouldn't fall here. That's why they went out and got Kenneth Walker the third, which I think is the right call to do. For me, I think they have to go quarterback. I mean, they've just lost two. Well, Trent McDuffie and was their main cornerback. Well, they've lost two cornerbacks. So for me, I think they have to go for the number one cornerback in this draft. That's Mansour Delane from LSU. He's going over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Bengals are on the clock. I would be, for me, I would be running in here with Ruben Bain Jr. I think he's not, for me, he's not like a standout edge rusher, but he's going to be great as part of a package. And I think Trey Hendrickson go in. They need to bolster that defense, and I think they will have a great defensive package with the Bengals next season. I think Ruben Bain, although he may not be the standout player, I think he'd be a very good addition to their defense. So I'm going to give the I was going to say Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Ruben Bain Jr. We move on to Miami, and Miami, how many needs have they got? They got so many needs, so many needs right here. Where do you start with the needs that they have? I think we have to go in the trenches, and I will go with Spencer Fano. I think getting more help in the middle there with the guards, because I think Fano's going to switch into a guard. I think I would probably have him there knowing that he can also play tackle when need be as well. So I think he is a slight asset on that. So I know there's a better guard in the draft, but I think the versatility that Spencer Fano has and the option that he could potentially play right tackle, I think that is, because long term he may end up as right tackle. I just think that he might start his career off as guard with the potential of kicking outside to right tackle where needed. Dallas Cowboys. Okay, Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to go with Dylan Tieneman because that is a need they have. They do need defensive help in the back end there, so I'm going to go with him. That's not something I need to think too long about. Let's just put him in there, add him. Great value for the Cowboys and the position that they do need a little bit of help on that one. So put him there without thinking. For me, the Rams, you can go two ways here. You can bolster up the O line, or you could go onto the wide receiver. Oh, so you got either Makai Lemon or you've got Monroe Freeling right now. Wow. Okay. I I think I'm gonna. I think I'll go Monroe Freeling just because to shake it up a little bit. For me, Monroe Freeling is tackle number 2 in this draft. I think that he still needs a little bit of work to be done on him, but I think his ceiling is a lot higher than all the other tackles. So that's why I believe that he is tackle 2, even though he'll be tackle 3 going in this draft. But I feel Monroe Freeling is. I know that some people have had him drafted to the Browns at pick 6. I hope he doesn't go there. I just hope he doesn't go to the Browns at 6. I think that's too high for him. I think this is about right for where he should be picked. And if he's available, the problem we got is that obviously we know the Rams love their wide receivers, and I think that they would love Makai Lemon. especially the fact he's in USC and he's just down the street, basically. I just love the fit of Monroe Freeling with the Rams, and they do need to bolster that O-line. So I'm going to go with Monroe Freeling to the LA Rams. Then we got the Baltimore Ravens. Um, Again, they now need more offensive weapons for Lamar Jackson. So this is where I would put Mekhi Lemon. I think that is an okay fit for him. So I think Baltimore Ravens need to bolster the offensive weapons with Isaiah Likely leaving as well. I think they need more weapons for Lamar Jackson. So let's give him Mekhi Lemon. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is an easy one for me. They need, again, with Mike Evans going, they need more offensive weapons for Baker Mayfield. They need tight ends. So let's get Kenyon Sadiq over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that is also a good fit. Then the Jets, again, they got so many needs. They've taken an edge rusher at pick 2. So now, where do we go with this one? I mean, obviously, Ione is there. They do need guard help. Veritucker has left to the Patriots. So I think maybe that is the way forward. The Jets need to find a replacement for Sauce Gardner as well. So yeah, it is a toss-up between Ione and McCoy right here. I think I will go guard because they can bolster the O-line and have somebody in front of Geno Smith there because he's come in. They need to protect him. So let's get Ione from Penn State there. Then we got the Lions are now on the clock. Oh, this is somewhere I would have looked at for Monroe Freeling if he'd have fallen there. He didn't, though. I think they do need a little. They have replaced some stuff in the O line. I'm trying to look here to see where we can go. Blake Miller. I mean, I'm quite high on Blake Miller. He is my tackle 4, but they are falling off quite a bit. So do we look at someone like Blake Miller, or do we give him best player available, McCoy, or do we look at more the defensive side? Do we go CJ Allen? And maybe actually, with everything that's going on with the Lions, we rebolster that defense a little bit. Maybe they were really good last year. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. So let's get CJ Allen into Georgia, from Georgia into the Detroit Lions. That was close. I was looking though at Blake Miller there as well. Then we've got the Minnesota Vikings. This one, I think they will need to bolster their defense. I actually will go with Caleb Banks here. The reason I will go with Caleb Banks here is because I think that they've got really good defense. I think they've got a core group there. And I think that he will fit in nicely into their scheme over there. And if he's got the right attitude, he will do well there. And I think he'll be successful because, again, he's not going to be the star player, but he's going to be part of the core group of rotational defensive players in that group. So I think let's stick there with him. We then get the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, they brought a lot of people in on defense. So now we're giving Jordan Tyson. So that will bolster their offense. Jordan Tyson just offers that more threat for the Panthers. And as I say, in free agency, they concentrated so much on the defense. They can now able to concentrate more in the draft with the offense to get Bryce Young more weapons. Then we move on to the Dallas Cowboys, where they're back here. We gave them a safety earlier on. So now we're looking at this and going, right, where do we go next? We could go again with another cornerback. I don't think the fans, they would be too happy if we did that. But do you know what? I'm going to, because Jermod McCoy is standing out to me. So we're going to go safety and then we're going to go cornerback. They need to bolster their defense. Their defense was not good last year. So they got Quinn Williams in. And yeah, I actually think that they're going to be more force this year. And adding 2 non-sexy picks is not always a bad thing. So that defense is going to be balling with those 2 picks next season. So Then we move on to Pittsburgh Steelers. So it depends on what happens here with Aaron Rodgers. I'm I'm presuming he's back. So if he's back, we don't need to concentrate on anything like quarterbacks or anything like that. Um, so Will Howard, I think, should be the number two, but we don't know what will happen there. I do believe he will be QB2, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers is back first. So that means they can bolster the team a little bit more. This is where I'm going to give them Blake Miller. They do need tackle help. And for me, Blake Miller, this is about right for him to go. So go to Blake Miller from Clemson. I do think he's underrated. I think he's actually a really good tackle. Tackle number 4 in the draft for me personally. So then we got the LA Chargers. They have done work in free agency, but not that much. I thought they would do more. They have bolstered the O line. They could really do with more help, but they've done what they've done. Here, I'm going to give them safety, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. They do have that need, and I think that is something that they won't be. Well, don't think many of their fans will be looking at, but I think it is a necessity. The Eagles now. The Eagles are going to have to redraft a lot. They're going to go for Akeem Mesidor. I mean, they've lost some players. They're going to lose more players. I think that this is an area they need to look at in the draft. So let's go Akeem Mesidor. A lot of people, I think, will have him a lot higher than what he's just gone there. So I think that's a good slot for him. Then we got the Cleveland Browns on the clock. Where do they go here? I mean, we've given them a wide receiver. We need to look at what else is available here. There's no real tackles or anything we can give them here, so maybe that was a mistake. Caden Proctor's there, but I'm not drafting him that high. Maybe that was a mistake going that wide receiver one. Maybe we should have gone wide receiver at this pick and tackle on the first pick, but we are where we are, as they say. So where do you go on this one? Just for the giggles, I am going to go another wide receiver because why not? If you're going to bolster it, why not bolster it? Or Mark Cooper Jr. You know, they got Titus Howard for the right tackle in free agency, so they still need some pieces, I think. But there's no one I would draft here. So my mistake was to go wide receiver at 6. They should have gone tackle at 6. So that's my bad. I should have done that. So now I've messed up their draft. But 2 very, very good wide receivers though. So they might have a down year this year, but we'll see what Shador Sanders has in his armor, or Deshaun Watson, whichever one starts. Then we got the Chicago Bears. They've been busy as well in the off season. I actually like Avion Terrell to go there in their back there. I think that he should be gone about now. So I think that's probably just the right pick for him. They don't need a center anymore. They've replaced the center. They got Bradbury in, so I think they can get Terrell in there. I think that's a very good pick for them. Then we got the Buffalo Bills. Now, for me, I think again, there's no tackles or guards I would take right now, even though you could look at Caden Proctor. I'm instead going to take TJ Parker. For me, he fits into their system, and I think he's going to be explosive in their system. So it's just a natural fit, in my opinion, to go to the Bills. I can imagine him and Bradley Chubb together. Oof, I think that's going to be a good matchup. Then we go to 49ers. They have edge rusher needs, so let's go Keldrick Fork here. Let's not even think about it. He's the best player available. Let's just take him there. I was actually thinking where people would go. I think that's the place for him. Caden McDonald is a natural fit here for the Houston Texans. He fits right into a need that they have, and I think that their defense is on fire. I think he's going to be an excellent pick for them, and watch out for him next season, I think. Then you got the Kansas City Chiefs. They're just going to go straight up the roster and go Denzel Boston, wide receiver from Washington. There's not even going to be any thought about it. Just put the pick in and don't even think about it. Andy Reid will make that work. No issues whatsoever. Then we're on to the Broncos. They've retained a lot of their own talent. So I don't know where they go here now. I really don't know where they go here right now. I'm struggling with this one. I'm going. You know what? I really don't know where I'm going to go with this one. I don't really want to go give them an edge rusher. I don't believe that is a massive need for them. Not cornerback. I might go tackle here then, just to bolster that O-line, just to add more depth to it. So I'm going to go Keaton Proctor here for the Broncos. They've done really well in retaining talent. So yeah, Sean Payton will be able to get the best out of Keaton Proctor, I believe. So, and whether I think he's going to be a guard. I don't think he's going to be a tackle. I think he's going to be a guard, but I think he's a depth piece that you can move along the line as well. So now we've got the Patriots. I think the Patriots will, for me, take a wide receiver right here. I think Casey Conception is the guy there. And the Seattle Seahawks, well, they need to replace a lot. But I'm not going to overthink this one either. I'm just going to go Colton Hood from Tennessee so they can bolster their backs as well. Yeah, but Seahawks have got a lot of stuff to do. So that's the draft. That's the end of it. So what do you think? Leave some comments down below. See what you think about the draft.